Have you ever felt judged for wanting things an easy way? Or maybe you judge yourself. Maybe you thought like, well, I just want an easy way. I just want an easy path. And let me tell you, when we stop shame around wanting an easy path, because naturally, our brain is wired not necessarily for success, but for safety. And because we want safety, we want the easy path. So this is a normal neurological pattern. But when we can be honest about that, we actually want the easier path, we can actually talk about wealth and abundance in a more productive way. And then we can actually see that the easiest path for our wealth and for our abundance is actually the harder path, the path that we are trying to avoid. And another thing, a lot of things that we perceive to be hard, to perceive to be harsh, is actually in our head. We actually don't have the actual evidence, actual reality that it is indeed hard. Let me show you a few examples. For example, when I went to college, I decided to go for a program for working professionals because it was easier, because it was faster, because I had a lot of time. But it actually turned out to be the hardest path. Instead of going to college to be a clinical psychologist full time, I had to work on my faculty because, again, like I'm kind of all in 100%, 1,000% person. And I knew if I wanted to know my craft, that limited amount of information and lectures are not necessarily essential for me. So I wanted to go something, I wanted deeper knowledge. So, and at the end of the day, I ended up working harder for my degree, networking harder for my degree, going outside of my program, paying extra money to learn different types of therapy, different approaches, and things like that. So the easiest path, the perceived easiest path, was actually the harder one. And it was 6 years versus 5 years. What if I waited for another year and actually prepared for my college year for the next year to go full time? I would spend exactly the same 6 years, and I would actually have more focused time focusing on therapy, focusing on my craft, and possibly not spend as much money on extra education, possibly not working 3 jobs to actually pay for my education and learn something and networking and be in the right circles. Like, you see what I'm saying? Because we often assign difficulty to our path before trying it. The same with business, right? There is a perception that service-based business is the easiest business to start because all you need to do, like, you have zero capital to start with, right? And you can do coaching, you can do video editing, and you just utilizing your skill like you trade time for money. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's probably not what you want to hear, but you trade time for money, and it's the easiest business to start. But at the end of the day, and actually the hardest business to start. The same thing with coaching. Like, oh, I have expertise. I can package my expertise. I can sell my expertise. But in trust recession, like after the 2020 boom, we actually see that the coaching business is actually one of the toughest businesses, toughest offers to actually sell, right? And there's a big divider in the market between entrepreneurs who figure out like what is the hardest path. Choose the hardest path that actually lead to the easiest path, and they're succeeding right now. And they're entrepreneurs who are still wanting easy path, easy money, but like at the end of the day, it represents in longer buying cycles, in trust recession, and also like people need a little bit more time and a little bit more ways for you to get to know you, right? So the easiest path turns into like the hardest path, right? The same thing, like maybe for the same amount of effort. And it's essentially, and it's really, really good for entrepreneurs who are like rethinking what is the next step. Maybe maybe if you have a little bit of budget, maybe buying a boring business is actually more profitable for you than starting a coaching program. If you don't have the whole lot of expertise, but you have a little bit of cash and you can buy, let's say, laundromat or a parking space situation, you can actually turn your boring business into a cash machine. Right? The same thing for real estate investment, because we often see what is popular in the marketing, and of course every marketer, this is what we taught. We taught like, hey, tell them that it is the easiest way, that my way is the easiest way. All you need to do, just like open up your laptop, go to Bali, and work for 3 hours a day. But the reality, it is not the reality of entrepreneurship. And when we embrace the hardest path, the challenging path, it is actually beneficial for us. And it's like the simple framework that I have for this, so you can actually implement it right now. Whatever I need to do, I would ask myself, what is the outcome I want to do? Like what I want to get. Let's say I want high ticket sales. I want to sell my $10,000 one-on-one coaching container. My highest, the closest proximity, the work with you, side-by-side offer. So what do I need to do? I need to, well, that would be nice if I could go live, talk about my $10,000 offer, and then people would just DM me like in good 2020, 2023, and then I would close them in the DMs on the call, and that would be the end of my funnel, right? This is the easiest way, but with a trust recession, what do I need to do? I need to get creative. I need to take longer way to create trust. And a lot of entrepreneurs right now, right? Like, how do we create trust? How do we create trust? Maybe it is actually talking to your customers. And I don't know why, but so many entrepreneurs are refusing to talk to your customers. But if you want to sell, again, if you want to sell anything in any market, you need to realize what is actually the pain point. The biggest pain point that people are willing to pay for. Not in 2020, not in 2022, not in 2024, in 2025, right here and right now. What is the urgent pain for your audience? And how do you know? Public forums, what people are talking about online, and actually scheduling calls with your people and asking what bothers you. And actually maybe restructuring your offer in a way, or creating bridges in a way that you can actually collect information. Provide one-on-one coaching for them, and that one-on-one coaching, for example, in my recalibration session, right? This is what I do with my recalibration session. I deliver result 100%. For me, it is a window into my market problem, right? What is the problem that they're trying to solve right now? And they're paying me for it. And I'm getting them closer. And then, again, in this market, we can't afford not to deliver. We deliver the results. Let's say a person has a sale, or a person has a clarity, or we come up with 90-day strategy that person can actually execute, and they see the first measurable results, and I say, hey, okay, how about we work for book and sold out for 90 days. We come out with a 90-day strategy, book and sold out. I give you $500 discount for book and sold out because you already paid $555 for recalibration session. And I don't believe in just charging people over and over again. Maybe I need to work with my money mindset, but it's not the point. The point is the next problem, probably book and sold out sounds really nice. So we work in book and sold out. And after book and sold out, I on the graduation call, and by the way, if you don't have graduation call, you should. I don't care if you're running 1,000 people group coaching program. Or if you're running one-on-one, have a graduation call. And on that graduation call, make them an offer. You will be surprised how many people will re-sign out with you again and again and again. I digress. All right. So after that 90 days, we actually have a conversation again. So what's up? And then that person said, listen, it was so good. My next point is do X. My 90-day plan actually worked, but like I see some holes, I see some bridges. So what do we do? Like, okay, like let's work together for a year, like really put together a plan that we can actually nail it down together, and we start working with a plan. And then people get amazing breakthroughs, like when, like I'm gonna start like AI startup company. This is actually what my vision is. People get to those like next levels. What is the hardest path for you? And now listen, I'm not saying that you should implement that strategy or that business model. Everybody's strategy is a little different. But what is the hardest path that you're resisting? If you know that you need to do an email list, why are you resisting email list? Why? And answer the question, how bad do I want it? Like, and also like, okay, what would it look like for me to try the email list? And try that for 90 days. Because sometimes when we start testing something, at least for 90 days, we actually get a taste for it. And like, you know what? I actually like building my list. I actually like building my community. I actually like building my YouTube channel. LinkedIn doesn't suck, right? So this is the framework. Ask yourself, what are you resisting, and what is the outcome? Again, and after that, like, okay, what would it take me for the next 90 days to actually execute this path and see if it actually that hard for me, right? And here's a spoiler alert: within the first 90 days, you're not gonna get it right. You're just not gonna get it right. And then, but in that 90 days, you're going to get the data and you're going to get the taste, or you're going to get the clarity. Maybe you're going to get the clarity that like, you know what, I will never do it again. Thank you so much. It was good experience, but not my experience. It's not my experience. From the spiritual standpoint, when we choose the easiest path, we might actually avoid the path of our soul correction. And I'm speaking from the Kabbalah standpoint, from the Kabbalah perspective, and the easiest path for us to get our blessing is to actually lean into the heart. We all heard the phrase, the obstacle is the way, and there's a book that is named Obstacle is the Way. Absolutely amazing book for every entrepreneur. But this is also spiritual. Your challenge is like a shelf with a light from the creator. That creator would like to reveal you. And so for every obstacle, every problem, it's actually an opportunity inside. And when we stop our emotional temper tantrum as entrepreneur, when we stop reacting and spiraling, and actually embrace the fact that we chose the hard path, that entrepreneurship may not feel in the moment as easy, when we stop treating our business as therapy, as feel good, as the source of feeling good all the time, then we're going to run successful business. Then we can actually address our soul correction. Because let me tell you something, through your business, your soul will be tested, and you will be going through your soul correction over and over again. This is the fastest personal development tool and spiritual development tool. If you want to be more spiritual, if you want to be more productive, if you want to be more self-aware, if you want to be more awakened spiritually, start your business and go all in. And then you're going to see things in yourself, in your patterns, the patterns that are stopping you, the patterns that are helping you. And this is my challenge to you. What is the easiest path that you have chosen so far that was the most difficult part for you? Also, if you are in this season in your life when you realize that you need to recalibrate, you understand maybe your easy path is not easy anymore, and you need to choose like the path not just that is easy, the path that is actually working and you're willing to work. So look at my description. If you book the recalibration session, then the recalibration session is really 90-minute session with me. It's one-on-one, and then for 30 days we work in DMs or Vax or whatever is appropriate for you. I can work with you through DMs or private messages or Voxer. And if you're interested in my more at a higher access level, when you can actually work with me long term, send me a DM on LinkedIn or Instagram, and I would be happy to have a conversation with you. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.